Today, I think I did standing exercises. Okay, so let's begin. So, you feel free to join me, but I don't think you have the setup, or feel free to be inspired with the exercises I'm going to do. So, for today, I'm going to do a deep stretch for my neck because I do massage every day. So, I'm going to begin with the kneeling position because yesterday I think I did standing position, and I'm going to stretch my neck by pushing myself forward using my core to propel me to move forward. Then, this part of the neck, that I'm just going to move a bit to the side and again push and propel myself to move forward to stretch my neck, which also helps with myofascial syndrome for the shoulder. I'm going to balance with the other side and push again 2 times and another part of the shoulder. I'm gonna make it deeper by bringing and propelling myself upward, up to a downward dog. So this is an intermediate video, and I'm gonna lift my heels up to deepen the stretch, and I'm gonna tuck my head in for a deeper stretch for it's called the levator scapula muscles, and push myself forward, and then the other part. This is a muscle that also helps raise the shoulder, and another part, which is the shoulder blade, also affects the rotator cuff muscles called supraspinatus and infraspinatus. Again, the other side, infra and supraspinatus. And okay, so even that stretching is quite difficult because I'm sort of doing a preparation for inversion. So now I'm going to turn around and bring one leg forward and do a diagonal, and again, wait, I'm finding my position there. Okay, so again, so a little forward, anterior deltoid will also be affected, and chest, which is also part of the muscles in the front of the body. And I'm doing a semi-crescent. And on the anterior deltoid part, I'm gonna lift my arm a bit, bring my arm a little backward to stretch the attachment to the pectoralis muscle or the chest muscle. So I'll do the same to the other side. First, I'm going to stoop a little forward to stretch the um, top, a little part of the scalenes and the supraspinatus. Later, I'm also going to stretch the neck. And I'm gonna push my arm a little, bring it a bit backward to stretch the anterior deltoid part. Okay. I'm also warming up the hip flexor for a deeper stretch for the hip flexor muscles. Okay, so I'm going to lift this a little higher to stretch the anterior deltoid and lift my arm higher and propel myself forward to open the chest some more. This is also like the attack to the pectoralis muscles. Stretch since I massage and I push forward, protraction, and so now I'm just opening it, and I'm gonna do the same to the other side. Lifting my arms, stretching my anterior deltoid, and also warming my hip flexor. I rotate my hand this way so it will now target the top part of the deltoid. And the other side, rotating my hand this way outward to now open the lengthen the deltoid. So these are all preparatory exercises because I'm gonna try to do a few pole tricks later. I haven't done pole tricks for quite a bit. So this is the posterior deltoid. With my leg in the same position, I'm just gonna lean backward or sit a little backward to stretch. And if I rotate my hand outward again, it will now, or pronation, this is supination, pronation, It will now stretch part of the teres muscle, especially if I move closer to my tool. These are muscles that are culprit for upper back pain, shoulder, and even neck problems. There. And I'm just leaning, putting my weight backward, and I'm gonna do the same to the other side. So I'm gonna face you and put first my posterior deltoid. So even my hip flexor is opening up. I can hear the subluxations or the crepitations getting fixed. And so I'm leaning back. It also stretches my body or upper body width-wise. You can feel internally that there are joints being opened up. Okay, I'm just gonna stand for a bit, and I just wanna do a regular crescent pose because my focus now is opening my hip flexor. So this is just a regular crescent pose with a pole. It's called POO, which I invented. It's Pinoy Yoga pole because I'm Filipino. So this is a crescent pose or Anjaneyasana Sana. And what is the difference between doing it with a pole or without a pole is that I can bring my hand higher and like a traction or suspension. And as I dip my hip flexor, I'm also stretching my chest. Like the parts that are difficult to stretch rather than if I don't have a pole and I'm just doing this, then my serratus muscles are still tight. But by holding upward, I'm suspending and I'm working also on body weights training so I can do pole tricks where my hands are on the pole and my body is aerial without support. So I'll do the same to the other side. I'll bring my hand higher so you can see, and I'm also stretching my hip flexor. I'm also very particular with alignment, and so the pole helps with alignment. I'll pause for a bit so that I can see if you have questions. I'll only entertain valid questions or uh, questions that are not nonsensical to help you also with your muscles. Okay, so what else can I do? I can also do a okay. Gonna rest for a few seconds. Feel free to join if you like. Hello, Rosal Perez. Feel free to be inspired with the stretches I'm going to do. So I can also put my hand here, still using the pole, move myself forward, and this is a deep stretch for the deltoids and the psoas muscles. Oops, sorry, alarm. Okay, as I was doing some videos, I set my alarm to 1 hour, and so it's done. So now I'm gonna pull myself, propel my weight forward to stretch again my anterior deltoid. And for a deeper stretch for the bodies and the stretch, I just do a rotate the hand outward and still stretch. I'm particular with the alignment, as I said. So if I do it to the other side, I just need to move and rotate a bit. So first the hip flexor stretch, and for a deeper stretch for the chest, I move this. It also improves the arch in my when I do back bends and when I'm doing pole tricks, and my upper body is suspended back. There you go. Okay, and then I can also do an oblique wherein I go like this and stretch like so. There you go. So these are more challenging, and so I'll do the same with the other side. Feel free to get inspired and get tips on how you could stretch. I can still bring this a little lower. Okay, I want to counter with downward dog again and stretching because I feel that my posture is can still be improved, especially in the upper part because I massage every day. And so I'm gonna do a downward dog. I'll also stretch the back of my knee. This is intermediate and lower and deeper. So I'm bringing my leg backward for a downward dog. And this is quite deep, as you will notice with my breathing. And I'm pushing my body towards the pole to stretch my erector spina muscles, part of my levator scapula muscles, sides of my infraspinatus muscle, and okay, that's a bit difficult. Okay, so when you come from an inversion, you kind of feel dizzy and sometimes your eyes turn red, so you have to stabilize your sort of pressure, especially in the upper part. You don't feel like you're puking. Okay, or throwing up. So I'm gonna do the same to the other side. First, I start with the downward dog with my hands extended, and then I'm putting my weight forward. So even if I release my hand, I'm pushing my shoulder towards the tool, and I'm now going deeper, tucking in my head. So it's going to affect my upper back, and also put my hand up in preparation for inversions. I can also bring my feet with the yoga mat is slippery and my head. So I can still go lower and lower to stretch my back. So this is a bit advanced. I can feel it in the deep parts of my hamstrings, lateral part. And I just relax first. The pressure in my head. Okay, so even if it's stretching, that's not easy. It's called isometric and it's messing up my hair. So that's isometric stretching because you're strengthening towards an immovable object. So you might not look that there's something happening, but there's something happening because I'm getting the power from my core to push my body forward, and the pressure and the one bearing the weight is my shoulder. Now I want to stretch my chest. I usually just do stretches like that. So I'm going to put it right smack my sternum, and I'm still going to do the crescent. Bring my hand back, open my chest, push my chest towards the tool to stretch the pectoralis muscle. There you go. The chest muscle, especially with female, is quite difficult to stretch because of the breast tissue, even if your breasts are small. Now, if you have operation, I will not recommend it, and I'm sure your doctor will not agree. It's good that even if my breasts aren't big, I can push it because there's no augmentation. So let's do that to the other side again. And for athletes, they like their breasts not too big because they can run, there's no imbalance, there's no pain in the back, especially if the breasts are heavy. So I'm putting my weight towards my chest, and it also stretches my psoas and aligns me. So I can also push my body forward to make sure I'm aligned, and I'm gonna do a back bend for a proper and nice back bend. So I'm stretching from the sternum, my chest, and if I lift my head higher, pushing my psoas towards the tool, this is a very deep stretch for the front upper part of the body. Now for the lower part of the body, how do you stretch that for a countering of the sitting position? Because every day you're sitting down, laptop, computer, cell phone, you're always sitting, so everything tightens up, especially if you're um, having lots of stresses or problems. Everybody has problems, including myself. So this one now counters that and stretches my chest and my neck. If I look back, look up and look to the left, look to the right, look up, and I relax. I can also sort of massage the top of my head by bringing my head like so because this is soft, and I can hold my tool and sideways for the top of the head. I think this is called Du Meridian in Chinese medicine. It meets with the Ren. Du and Ren meridians are not part of anatomy physiology, which is the 13th, I think, or and 14th meridian. I haven't been catching up on my philosophies and my theories, but feel free to study um, Chinese medicine. So now, what else can I stretch with this? I can also stretch the lateral part of my deltoid, bringing my leg like so and just pushing my weight towards the side, and like it's crunching. There you go. when you are a therapist like myself, a massage therapist, sometimes it's a little bit, it is difficult for me to relax if someone's gonna massage me because I keep analyzing and being quite critical, knowing that I'm very good. So I'm thinking, oh, is she, this person doing the right thing? Does he know what he's doing? Or is the person doing proper body mechanics? Because if you're massaging, it's not only about massaging a person, but to also protect yourself because you translate the difficulty to your recipient if you're having a hard time massaging. So if I'm massaging, I should be massaging with ease. Okay, so thank you very much. Okay, I'm gonna continue on. So for the lower part of the body, which is we need to open up because we're always sitting down. So when we get old, we look this way. When we're old, ah, okay, sorry. When we're old, you're kind of like this. And you're always gonna face plant when you come from a sitting position because your hip flexor muscles are too tight. So this is a muscle that you really need to stretch. I haven't been stretching my hip flexor. So this again, this crescent pose is a good way to stretch your hip flexor. But the tendency is to go like this. So if I'm sideways, you're also not stretching your hip flexor because this body is just straight. So you need to bring your body up. And so you can use a chair to support you. And with a tool, I can also, like, look at this. I can also, there's a wall here, stretch like this. This is a very difficult part to stretch. This is a part of the body that the old people have tightness with. That's why the old people look like this. I'm also old, by the way, so sorry for that. That's not misogynistic. I'm 57 years old, but I can do my splits. So regardless if I look 57 or not, but I can still move. Even if I'm a person with disability, I'm a PWD, I don't have intestine. So if I can do it, you can do it. Okay, so now let's move forward. That's for another story. So that's why even if I want to wear my crop tops and stuff, my I'm always high waisted to cover my colostomy bag. Anyway, especially in the Philippines, it's actually like a stigma, like sort of unheard of, but there are a lot of people with colostomy bags. So, but in other countries like in the States, a lot of people have like a colostomy bag. They're not ashamed of it. They go to the beach with it. They wear bikini with it. And so if I twist like that, it stretches the difficult part of the body to stretch. I'm just stretching and I'm perspiring already. So stretching is not that easy, even if I'm flexible. So now let's do a cobra. Normally when people do cobra, they separate their legs, sit this, and so the lateral muscles are still tight, still tight. So you need to bring the legs together. So if I'm going to turn around so you can see how you can do your cobra, and I can even use the pole and deepen my stretch because there's like a weak link in the middle, which is your abs. And so, okay, you can do your cobra, but your chest tightens up because you're pushing the floor away from you. But if I'm gonna hang like this or suspend myself on the pole and I'm hyperextended, that's a really deep stretch for the psoas. So if I turn around, I'm just gonna balance my stretch. So you can see sideways. I'm bringing my feet together because my goal is to do a pole trick called Superman. Again, I'm 57 years old, but I can still move. So you should be inspired regardless of your age. Okay. And so I can also, so how can you do your cobra? So I'm gonna turn around so you can see. Okay, my feet might be dirty, but anyway. So cobra and sway side to side, deepen or dip and deepen. Now you wanna focus on one hip flexor. This is difficult. Your legs might look like this. So you can bring one leg like so to stretch one part first or one hip flexor first and then the other. Okay, you can ankle over the other and stretch and cross ankle over the other and stretch. Okay, and so are there other ways? So now I'm flexing my hip flexor, which is what we usually do when sitting down. I want to show you, this is an intermediate video because I'm just watching and I'm just sharing it with you. But I have another channel for rehab. Those are easy stretches. It's called TLC, or Therapeutic Love and Compassion Bodywork Channel. TLC, or Therapeutic Love and Compassion Bodywork Channel. So I'm gonna deepen my stretch for the hip flexor some more. So these are intermediate and advanced stretches. First, I'm kneeling down and I'm now normally what people do when they pull their ankle from behind is they like go like this. So these muscles are still tight. You wanna bring the leg like so to really deepen the stretch. Why? Because when you get old, you will look like this and you will face flat. Ay, sorry, like that. Especially coming from a sitting position. So what I'm gonna do is stretch the hip flexor deeply. There you go. Because I'm just stretching and I'm sharing it with you now. So this is very deep for the knee. It stretches my knee. I'm quite flexible, so I'm 57 years old. I know that's rubbing it in, but it is what it is. And why? Because of stretching. Yeah. I hardly sleep actually, but I'm just sort of always thinking. So this is a deep stretch for the knee. If you have knee problems, don't do this. Okay. If you have knee problems, how do you stretch? Like this. If you have knee problems, you have to look for an elevation. Well, I don't want to move my camera anymore. So for instance, this is your tool or your chair behind. You can just put your ankle like so. Your knee can be together or a little forward. So if you have tight knee, it looks like this. Then sway side to side. Your body may even look like this, especially if you're always sitting down. So your goal is to have at least the leg together with the other leg, and it might look like this if you have tight iliotibial band, vasus lateralis muscles, tight TFL, tensor facilitating muscles. It looks like this. But now, since this is an intermediate advanced level, so I'm going to show you what I do. I'm not even stretching my lower, I'm just beginning now. I have tools, so I have my door handle here and my pull here. I'm going to advance and stretch like so to deepen the stretch in my hip flexor. And I want to keep my body upright and suspend. So you will also notice in my breathing that I'm doing an effort. Even if it's just stretching and I'm perspiring already. I also turned off the fan because it's noisy. There you go. So I'm gonna switch, and I feel the deep stretch in the pectoralis muscle or the chest muscles inside. And so, like when a doctor checks on you, if you're a female, and checks your axillary area, because I think that's what you call it. Sorry, this is all stock knowledge. I haven't been reading for years, and so I'll just do the other side. An oncologist will check your, if I'm not mistaken, your armpit area, axillary area to check for lumps, for cancer. So, what am I saying? If you keep your circulation going, you can even prevent degenerative diseases, including cancer. I'm not a doctor, so that's not conclusive. That is just my thought, my wisdom. Why? Because what is the lymphatic system which were in the test for cancer? I'm gonna do my cobra once again. It's because the stock up stuff or uh, trash or rubbish in your body gets stuck and you can't release it. And that's how you should do lymphatic massage or yoga or tai chi or qigong or light stretches or like this ballistic stretching, dynamic stretching to move your circulation, which the lymphatic vessels also drain to the circulatory system to help cleanse you for your resistance, for your immune system, which fights all microbes, bacteria, virus, fungus, and parasites. So you need to keep your circulation going all the time. I'm just gonna counter with a deep puppy pose so you can see the arch in my back because I want to improve my form on the pose. So I'll show you how it looks like. Okay. Okay. Then this is the cat cow. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna do my Sphinx first. So this is my Sphinx. I'm careful with this because I have a colostomy bag on my right side, right abdomen. The colostomy bag is like a plastic. It stores my feces and it might pop. So I'm sort of carrying my weight up so that the bag doesn't pop. So now to do a cool, you can also do like from a Sphinx. And you see my feet are together because I want to open my iliotibial band as well and vastus lateralis muscles, which are the side of the leg. So this is uh, twisting and going to a cobra. Okay, then I try to not go like this. Try to bring myself up. Try to do an elevation if you have a wedge pillow. Okay, so I'm a bit tired, so I'm gonna use my wedge pillow. Okay, what am I gonna do with my wedge pillow? Oh, I'm gonna do a cobra. So there's so many things to do with a triangle pillow. My client gave it to me. I have other wedge pillows, but they're smaller and this is more firmer and it's very, very, that feels so good. It's non-invasive for the knee. So it stretches a different part of your lower abdomen. That feels good. Okay, so I'm gonna use this to suspend. Oh, that feels so good. So it's non-invasive. The other one is much more difficult. Doing cover is much difficult. So using a wedge pillow helps elevate you already and helps make the intensity less. Okay. And so if I now keep my knees together, again, this is an intermediate video, and I go like this. Okay, just experimenting. Okay. Okay, that's not too bad. So you will see the part of the muscles I'm stretching deep in the side of the chest area so that I can do aerial pull tricks later on wherein my legs are suspended and my arm is like this. I used to do that and it prepares you to do flag. I also used to do flag, which now I can hardly do any pull tricks, so I'm training. Okay. So now, okay, my lower back. I can feel my lower back. That's quite deep. One more. I'm gonna bring my leg a little out so I can deepen my stretch on this side. Okay, it popped. And so the other side. Again, working on my hip flexor. And now I can even do a crescent with this. Bring one leg forward. And now I can deepen my stretch and do a little back bend. I push my toe to have an isometric stiffening to squeeze my back and stretch my chest. I can also advance in my legs. So this eventually prepares you for splits. The crescent pose or Ajnasana yoga is the half of a split. So to do a split, you only need to do two poses. This, okay, and then this. Straighten the leg forward. Okay, my lower back. So now I need to relieve my back first with a wedge and just relax like this. Okay, what else can we do? Oh, okay, so to deepen my stretch, so this is a wedge pillow, but I'm gonna bring it sideways so you can see. Just gonna do counter. This is easy for me. Flexion is easy for me. So I bring my foot there like that. So I'm gonna use this because the tendency is around like that, and this is very deep. So I'm gonna work on my hyper splits because I can already do a split. So this one, I pull the pole away from. There's again an isometric, and so I push my elbow out to really stretch the back of my knee, and I push my knee downward. I can still deepen my um, hamstring stretch by using some tools. I have so many tools, but half of my tools are already in our glamping area, secluded glamping, secluded. So some tools, okay, so let's make that a bit deeper. So first I bring my leg like this. Feel free to get inspired. The tendency is if it's elevated, you like that. Your back is like that. So for me, not too bad. Well, it can improve. And so I try to straighten my knee, try to hold on to my pole, try to bring my buttocks forward. Oh, okay, I can feel the stretch here now. And so if I want to stretch my knees bending, well, not before, but now yes. So how do I fix that? I use my chest to push, flex my foot for a deeper stretch, use the pole for a deeper stretch, and bend my elbows upward. And I can really feel this in the back of my calves. called gastrocnemius, soleus muscles, the joint Achilles tendon. They're all stretching because I'm flexing my foot for a very deep stretch for the hamstring, so that if I pole dance and I'm tiptoeing, I won't get cramps, especially if I'm doing tricks already, because you'll be holding onto the pole, hooking with your toes, your feet, your calves, and you're upside down. So that's quite difficult for the muscles. Okay, that's a little tiresome. First, for this again, you just want to slouch or move the backwards. So I'm pushing my leg like so, just bringing my other leg, using another tool to support my other leg. Again, holding on to the pole, putting this in between my chest and my quads so that I can keep my knees straight and I can feel the stretch in my back, my calves, and my hamstrings. Well, not so much in the hamstrings, I think. Okay. So now I want to do a revolve. So to do a revolve is I can again use my pole, bring my elbow downward. So my leg is here. The other leg is just passive, and I'm using my biceps to pull myself towards the pole to stretch the side, and I'm gonna like sort of lean back. My knees bending, so I wanna keep that straight, and then I'm pushing. Looks weird, but anyway, this is an intermediate video. I'm just enjoying with my workouts. I can pull here, or I can just bring this back to really stretch my chest, so I can do nice pull tricks in the near future. I can even rotate my hand out. I'm exaggerating my breathing, but I'm really doing effort. There you go. So it looks like distorted, and I can also bring this, bring my hand, quite challenging, or bring my hand here. Okay, enough for that. That's too tiresome. So I'm gonna just turn around and you can see what's happening here. So I'm just gonna do straight away. First, I'll stretch. This is too easy for me. And so I wanna do a rotate just to have a little bit of challenge. Bring my hand backward. Again, you can still improve. Lock my wrist. Open my palm. Lean back a bit, holding onto the wedge pillow so I don't totally lean back. Very deep stretch for the side. That's very tiresome. Okay, so I'm just gonna position the wedge pillow behind the pole. Put my feet upward. Okay, the tendency wanna slouch or just wanna lean back. So the back of the legs, maybe a few more minutes. I'm already tired, but I hold on so it's bending. I hope I don't pop my colostomy bag. So hold, and then I extend my leg more forward. I flex my feet. I can even put it on the pole to really have a very deep stretch. I'm exaggerating my breathing, but I just want you to know where the tension is coming from. Because I can do it. It's just that there's a little bit of effort. I just wanna bring back my muscle memory. So this is more mental for me. I can even lock my toes, and my wrists, and then I'm gonna bend my elbows outward for a deep stretch. So it's quite deep for the hamstrings. I can feel the stretch too. So with the elevation, it magnifies or intensifies the stretches. Okay. I'm actually very tired already, but I want to finish this off. Okay. So my back is resting, my quads is tight. So I want to proceed with my main goal first, and I hope my colostomy bag doesn't pop. Okay, so it's here. It's a plastic. It's like a pouch. It carries my feces. And so I don't want to eat in the morning if I'm gonna work out so that it's not too full. Okay, so I came from a flexion, so this is quite not painful, but there's tension in my back because I came from another stretch. So that's quite difficult. Flexion to extension, and this is hyperextension. I'm hanging to stretch my armpits. I move back, bring my knees backward to really stretch this part. This is very difficult to stretch. And so if I move my wedge pillow backward, and I can still hang. So I do vortex of this, and then the legs is like aerial, like that. So I need to be flexible to be able to do this again. And if I'm gonna hold my body weight, I have to bend my elbows like this. I'm doing a lot of massaging people using my elbows, and I feel my arm is already deformed, so I need to fix that. So now, the way I massage my clients, I use my knees. This is my knees now, and my feet, and my toes, and my heels, and the ball of my feet. There. So, there. Okay, so I can just, and I can also do this and push. It's a very deep stretch for the back. Opens the front of the body, sorry, contracts the back, but stretches the front of the body. You can also use a wall for this and a wedge pillow, and I can. So that's the advantage with the pole. You can do a lot of stuff. See, and so if I do the same with the other side, so pole fitness is just not like pole. You hold on to it. Even how you hold the pole has a lot of facets to it. You hold the pole in different manners. So I'm probably gonna end with that stretch and okay, relax. Okay, this is a bit tiresome. I can even do a cat cow here, cow, cat cow. Okay. So I'm gonna finish off with using probably the yoga block or a half roller. I wanna deepen my stretch. So first is I'm gonna use a half roller. The pole is behind me. I'll just show you some different moves. I'm gonna step on the half roller. Gonna bring my body backward. Gonna use this because I'm just doing well. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna lay down and sleep. There you go. Very deep stretch for the knee. Chest stretch. And bring myself up. Neck stretch. Deepen the stretch when I work on my back bends. And it's called, in yoga, it's called full pigeon. Single pigeon is okay with haven't done the full pigeon yet, so I really need to do my backwards. Oops, lazy. Okay, that's a little wobbly for me. I feel a bit busy, but not really. I can recover fast because the muscles, a component of the muscle is elasticity, flexibility, and so you should need to train your muscles so that they can go whichever direction, contraction, tone, or flexibility. Okay, so now I'm going to do my back bend, and I'm going to deepen this by moving a bit forward. Moving back, going deeper, pushing my shoulders, stretching my neck. So this is the finale of my exercise. Feel free to join me. Tomorrow I think I can still work out. If I don't have a client coming in on Saturday and Sunday, I have home service, I do home service. So those are from the Philippines. I'm in Makati. If you want to check out my home studio, it's my own setup. I invented the stuff. I'm putting them together. There you go. Next stretch. Yoga Pino. Um, I love watching like plastic surgery videos. I'm not against it. Just that personally, I won't because I might be like the unlucky one. Will have like an accident with a procedure. But you see, even if you have Botox, my eye bags are quite big. So I haven't been sleeping. Even if you're having some stretching, I was talking to you. Okay, so even then I'm gonna go cobra. But I'm gonna add a tool again to my cobra so you can see. Like a lower wedge. Well, it's not a wedge, but okay, I'm gonna add the tool while I talk to you. about how to look young. Not that I'm an expert, so this is another, it's a spine corrector and a knee pad to elevate. Okay, so first, I do my cobra. There's also a yoga block I can. See, I'm going to use the pool. Okay, so even if you have your Botox and you sort of and your skin with your Botox, pull the muscles, making it taut and tight. But the thing is, what you cannot cheat with your age, which I need to fix, is the neck. That's why the first people who got procedures while I'm stretching, like a podcast while stretching, the first people who had their face lift, they're pulling it probably from like some parts of the body, and so they have to wear. And I'm going to deepen my stretch, bringing myself up using a yoga block. I call this small, medium, large, and I'm going to push large. Okay, but you cannot cheat the neck. So guys, if you want to look not too old, if you're 30s or 50s, take care of your neck all around. But you cannot just keep taking care of the front of the neck if your upper back is tight or your shoulders is tight. There's so many facets and so many stuff to be discussed with the muscles, which I've learned over the years. Maybe we can stretching. I can like discuss stuff, not necessarily the muscles, and just share stories with you and even personal stories if you like. So that being said, I think I'm gonna end my video here because it's already quite long. So I did small, medium, large with this. And I can even like hold my weight because later on I want to hold as I used to hold my weight on the pole using the back of my legs and just hyperextending the back. So some people can just like hyperextend the back. It's called the Superman pose in yoga. Sorry, in pole. Oh, I'm done. So thank you for joining. Feel free to subscribe if you like, if you learned something new from me, if you got inspired. I'll just do different stuff all the time, stretching different parts. But if you have a special body part that you want to stretch, feel free to. I'm going to show you something that you can do. Get a towel for my cool down. Get a towel or a tie. And I'm going to cool down with a resistance band. Okay. So I have different resistance bands. So you can get a towel or a tube or whatever you want to stretch the rotator cuff. So first, I just bring my hand to the back. If you already have your towel, let's do 2 times. Just to make sure my shoulder joint. Well, I don't think you can do this. If you have, you can probably do this or this. With me, it's quite flexible, and my tool is elastic, so I can bring it all the way to the back. A few more. Bring it to the side. Bring the tie to the side. You can also look up for a deeper stretch for the chest. Other side. So you can do stretches in 5 minutes and they would be fine. That would make you more mobile, functional, and supple. For me, this is quite intermittent advanced, so one of the cool tricks. Okay, and then you can also bring it to the back. This is your level for today. It might look like this, you have tight chest. So for me, I'm gonna deepen. And I'm gonna use my tool for deeper stretch. Stretch, not stretch. Okay, that is quite difficult. Join me in my next training. Feel free to ask questions. Thank you very much. I appreciate you joining me while I stretch. Thank you. Bye, Ether. Bye, Rosalie. Feel free to subscribe.